Okay, let's now understand the work area or the workspace of Photoshop itself. So right now I am on the Photoshop workspace area. So basically this area right here is called the work area where you will be opening your canvases and importing your images and editing them. So this black area right here is the work area. Now, what is the workspace then? The workspace is basically all of these tools and options that Photoshop is throwing at you for you to edit your photos. So that's called the workspace. So let's understand workspace in a bit more detail, okay, and how we can change them. So the top menu that you can see here is called the menu bar. So everything that Photoshop can edit on photos is mentioned here in menus, and everything that can be hidden or shown is all accessible through these menus. All right, apart from the other tools that it has, in addition to the tools that it has. And below that, you can find another bar, which is to close, minimize, or maximize the window. This is my system is a Mac, so the options are on the left. If you're on Windows, it'll be on your right. Okay. So followed by the name, which is Adobe Photoshop 2024. That's the version that we are working on. And below that is the options bar menu. So basically, all the tools that you see on the left, when you select a specific tool, the options bar changes based on the tool that you've selected. So basically, you can imagine this as the screwdriver set at your home. So if this is the screwdriver, the accessories with the screwdriver are on top for you to access. So this is how I would explain the options bar, right? And to let's understand now what is workspace. Okay, so if you go to window on top and if you see the second option, it says workspace. And right now you can see it's set to essentials. All right, what does this mean? It means that the most essential tools that are used by designers in Photoshop are shown to you right now. So that's essentials. Let's click on core tools. What happens? You see there's some changes that happen on the interface, right? So Photoshop has hidden certain options for you, and only this is displaying the core functionality that it has, the basic functionality for you to edit. So that's what core tools offers. Let's go back to essentials. You see everything else is back how it was. Now, what is motion? Motion, if you are doing video editing, then you have to select motion. So as soon as you select motion, you see the options on the left, on the right toolbars change. And there's another option below, which is a timeline has appeared at the bottom where you can import video and make edits. So this is the interface used for video editing in Photoshop, which is again very important, and you'll be using this feature in the future assignments. Let's go next is painting. If you select painting, all the options on the right change to painting. Brushes and colors are mentioned. So basically, if you're a painter, digital painter, then this is the workspace that you will be working on. And you will have a tablet in your hand where you can make sketches and they will all appear here. You can control the brushes and choose the kind of brushes from the options here. Going on to the next interface is photography. So if you're a professional photographer, then the options here will be relevant to that. It's relevant to images, basically hue and saturation, brightness, curves, and all of these are adjustments that you can make on photos. Okay, so it's showing you directly right here. Let's go to next is graphic and web. This is important because if you're creating graphics for the website or web usage, then the options you will here will be relevant to that. You can see there's a character panel that has appeared to control typography and paragraphs and glyphs, which are images that are symbols and images that are used on the web, and followed by properties of elements, library, and then below you have, of course, the layers panel. Okay, and you click on it and you can see there's a layers panel. So let's move forward. The options below is basically reset graphic and web. Now, what is reset? So let's go back and set this to essentials for now. Okay, this is essentials. So in Photoshop, any tab or any option can be pulled out and have its own section. Okay, it does not need to be always um, latched on or basically tagged on these tabs. Right now you can isolate each of these options easily and have it on their separate windows. Each of these, in fact, each tab can be pulled out and have as a separate dialog box for yourself to work. Okay, so Photoshop gives you a lot of flexibility to move things around. Okay, now let's say you move things around and accidentally closed these boxes that you needed, these options, you close them all. Now what happened? You see they're gone from the left, and since you're a beginner, you don't know how to bring them back. So one of the most easiest ways to reset everything on Photoshop is go to Window, go to Workspace, and go to Reset Essentials, and you see everything will be reset back to you how it was originally launched. Okay, so this is an extremely important feature. Keep that in mind to reset options. New workspace is basically if you want to customize your workspace based on how you work and you want certain options and you don't want certain options, so you can adjust that through new workspace. Okay, delete is basically to delete any workspace that you have created and you no longer need it. You can just delete that off from here, and the keyboard shortcut and menus basically will open this dialog box for you where you can control the shortcut keys on your computer that are used to access options. I would not recommend changing this because Photoshop has set itself um, great options and you don't need to customize that, and it's best for you to learn that. And then lock workspace will basically lock your workspace, and you see now everything is locked, so none of these options can be pulled out. Even if I'm trying, it's not happening. So that's to lock space so that you don't accidentally move things around. So great feature to have. Okay, so yeah, this was about workspace. Another important point is if you see these little arrows on these tabs, basically are collapsible menus, collapsible options. So if you click on it, it expands, and if you click it back, it collapses back. Okay, so these options reveal that there are more hidden, elaborate options. So you can explore that by clicking on that. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much about the workspace.